Hello everyone, it's Turnro here, bringing you the next video in my series of how to make cinematics using the Warcraft 3 world editor. Over the last couple of videos, we have gone through the basics in how to make our cutscenes more interesting to watch for the player, which includes making the use of cameras, sounds, and character dialogues. Now we are ready to move to the more advanced techniques we can use to further improve our cutscenes, which in this particular video we'll be covering animations. And when we're talking about animations in Warcraft 3, we're specifically referring to unit, doodad, and destructible animations. So to gain a better idea on what we're talking about when we're referring to unit animations, for example, you will notice that when you select on a unit within the world editor, it brings up a portrait of that unit on the left hand side of the screen. There is also a section dedicated to this model called animations, and you can toggle between the different animations that are available for that particular unit model. Now, the different animations that are assigned to the different units within Warcraft 3 will slightly differ, but essentially speaking, every unit will have some sort of walk, stand, attack, spell, and death animation, essentially speaking. We can even go through all the different types of units within the world editor and filter through the different animations just to get a better idea on what animations are available to the unit, as well as referring to the specific names given to the animation, because that will be important for triggering purposes later on. So the question lies, how do we make use of unit animations when making our cinematics? Well, for this particular video, we'll be using a slightly modified version of the cutscene that we have made in the previous videos, with the terrain slightly different and with the cutscene following a slightly different alteration, in where we order Samuro to move to a specific camera point or region, have them say a battle shout, followed by a sound playing. So if we play this particular cutscene within Warcraft 3, we at the moment get the following.
For the burning blade!
So what we're trying to achieve with this particular cutscene is to make a scene where Samuro goes up to the villager and kills him essentially. And within the triggers, we can make use of, for example, units, go down to issue an order targeting a unit. We can order Samuro to technically attack the villager. But what we want to achieve with this particular cutscene is for Samuro to play his attack animation, followed by the villager playing his death animation, to gain the illusion that Samuro is attacking the villager, but we don't actually want to kill him. So how we're going to achieve that is, first of all, within our cutscene, within the area where the warlock sound appears, we are going to play Samuro's attack animation, which we can do that by A under animation, and then go play fake Samuro's attack animation. Now it's important to note that when a unit plays their animation through the use of triggers, if you don't specify what animation plays after they have played their particular animation, then the unit won't play an animation at all, which will look out of place within Warcraft 3. So every time you order a unit to play an animation that is not a stand animation, you need to immediately precede it with a cue unit animation event. So in this case, we're going to order Samuro to play his stand animation immediately after his attack animation. Next, we are going to wait slightly in order to allow time for Samuro's attack animation to actually take effect. And then we are going to play the villager's death animation. So we go into animation play, we select the unit, we select the villager, and we play his death animation. And we can even slightly improve this scene by making use of sounds. So first of all, we want a sound associated with Samurai's attack animation. What we do is we go into the sound editor as usual. We go into units for sound, combat, and we will make use of the metal heavy slice flesh sound. So we'll do that. So within this particular area, when the animation of Samurai actually hits the villager, we will play the combat animation at this particular point. So here we'll go play the heavy slice flesh animation attached to the villager. Now, one technique you can use when making use of animations for a unit is if you have a unit stand for an extended period of time, but you don't want them to do anything drastic because it doesn't make sense to, such as you don't need them to attack or walk off or anything, you can make use of the particular unit's different stand animations. So we'll just decrease the distance further. So you'll notice that Samurai, for example, he has a normal stand animation, and then he has 3 different alternate versions of stand. So we are going to incorporate that in this cutscene as well. So after the villager dies, we're going to wait a couple of seconds. Then we're going to create a new action, go animation, specify rarity. So we're going to play fake Samurai's stand animation, but we're going to make use of rare animations. So when we're talking about common and rare, so for example, a unit will have a stand animation, and they will have what is referred to a normal stand animation. But they will have different alternate versions of their stand animation, which can be referred to as rare. And the same is the case for other different types of animations with different animations per se, such as an attack animation. So we're going to make use of that. And we are also going to cue fake Samurai's normal stand animation afterwards. Then we're going to wait a few seconds. And now that that's done, we'll give this map a save and we will test our new cutscene. So now we will proceed to initiate this cutscene as normal.
For the burning blade!
And there you go. So now we have successfully incorporated the use of unit animations when making our own cutscenes. A couple of other techniques you may also want to use include the following. So within the animation area, there is a lock body part feature for a unit. So if you want a unit's head, for example, to face another unit, you can do so through this particular action. Such as, for example, we lock Samurai's head to face the villager. If you are going to use this though, keep in mind of the following, and that but if at any time you don't want the unit to actually lock the direction of their head to face a particular unit, you can make use of the reset body part facing action in order to revert what you have done. In addition, you may also want to have the unit's body facing another unit at any particular point in time, in which you may find the use of a particular type of action called make Samurai face villager, for example. And you can even specify the length of time, though usually you will want the unit to face whatever unit you want to have faced immediately. So now we are ready to go on to how we can incorporate doodad and destructible animations, which specifically refer to in the doodad panel, where destructibles are referred to things such as trees, gates, etc., whereas doodads refer to everything else that is not within the trees/destructibles area of the doodad panel. So for this particular cutscene, I've made a brand new cinematic trigger that will consist of Cenarius on Hilltop reviving a bunch of dead trees. And we can see what this cutscene is by going into the cinematic O2 trigger that has been created. So this cutscene will be initiated when Samaru moves over to the lush green area of the map as opposed to the rocky area. And when that happens, we essentially create a fake Cenarius unit on top of the hill on this specific region, and then we have him perform some actions and revive the trees. Although instead of actually technically reviving the trees in this case, we are just getting the trees to play their birth animation. So how do we go about doing this? Well, first of all, we are going to add some additional sounds that we want to make use in our cutscene. So first of all, we want to have Cenarius play his spell channel animation. And we will emphasize this by making use of the tranquility sound within the sound editor. So we'll just import that. Next, we're going to go into our trigger editor, and within the actual cutscene itself, we're going to order the game to wait 1 second. Then we are going to play the tranquility sound animation assigned to Cenarius himself. So we play tranquility at 100% volume on fake Cenarius. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have Cenarius play his channel animation per se, in which we can find out exactly what name it is by looking within the actual unit panel itself. So we go across, and here we have the channel animation per se. So we'll do that. Play channel, and the unit will be fake Cenarius. Because we want Cenarius to actually play his channel animation a couple of times, we're going to specify that within the actual trigger. So we're going to go cue fake Cenarius's channel animation, and after he has played that animation for a second time, then we are going to cue his stand animation. So now we will order the game to wait an additional second. It is at this point in time that we actually want the trees to play their birth animation. And how we will want to do that is if we go into AVE animation, we can see that we can play the animation for a specific destructible, in which in this case, if we go to click on a tree, we will see that there is a birth animation tag assigned to the particular tree model. Except we want to, in this circumstance, play the birth animation for a bunch of trees within the area. So you'll notice that we have placed down some regions that will assist us in playing a bunch of tree animations all at the one time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into destructible. We go pick up every destructible within tree region 1. And then we're going to, for each tree within that region, play the pick destructible's birth animation. And we'll do the same thing for tree region 2 as well, because we have separated the trees within 2 separate regions. Now following this, we also want to make sure that after the trees play their birth animations, that they don't automatically revert to their death animations. So what we're going to do is we are going to copy this and paste it, and we're going to go animation, cue the picked unit's stand animation. And we are also going to copy and paste that and repeat it for tree region 2. And then we're going to add an additional wait action to allow time for the trees to finish playing their birth animation before ending the cinematic. So we'll save the map and we'll give the new cutscene we have made a test run. So now we will order Samaru to move to the new location to initiate the Cenarius cutscene. Now, you would have noticed before that when we were in the doodad panel, that there was a difference between what is classified as a destructible and what is classified as a doodad, for example. So now we have been shown how to actually play destructible animations. Playing doodad animations is slightly different in the triggers. And we're going to demonstrate this by making the use of an additional scene within that cutscene where a bunch of lightning bolts fall from the sky before Cenarius plays his channel animation per se. So within the cinematic area, we are going to place down some lightning bolts. We'll place down a few. There we go. Now, for this particular reason, you will want to make sure that the lightning bolts are contained within a region, which I had taken the liberty of pre-placing down in the map previously. So, within the trigger editor, what we're going to do is when the map loads for the first time, we are going to add a animation, play the death animation for all lightning bolts within the particular area, because we only want the animations for the lightning bolts to play within the actual cutscene itself. So what we're going to do is going to copy this, and within our cinematic, we are going to paste it within our trigger. And then in here, we're going to play the stand animation for all of the lightning bolts within the region. And we are also going to import the sound necessary for the lightning bolts too. So this one will do. So now if we go back into the trigger and we go into sound, play, lightning bolt at 100% volume attached to Cenarius. Now we will be able to save that and see what our new cutscene looks like. Now you may be thinking to yourself at this point, in order to make the cutscene better to watch per se, that we make use of a particular spell animation. Well, with spells in Warcraft 3, they're referred to as special effects, and they will be the topic of the next tutorial video. But overall, this is how you make use of animations for units, destructibles, and doodads. I hope you found this particular video useful. If you did, feel free to like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. But until the next video, I'll catch you all next time. Bye now.